Here we go. Hello, everyone. I'm a bit disorganised today. We went out for a little lunch with some family friends that we've known for a long time who got cross with me for calling them old family friends. Willow's in the kitchen barking at me through the door. Polly's here. And who is on? Karen, konnichiwa, you win. David, oh, look at the crowns have gone crazy. Hello, David. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Kay. Hello, Joel. Good to have you back. Hello, Rob. Hello, Peter and Karen. Emily and Kevin, welcome back. Willow, shut up, please. This is not my dog, Willow. She thinks there are people in the house that she has to protect me from, whereas I'm just talking to you. Hello, Cotty and John. Cotty and John, you just sent me a picture of John's dish, which I was just about to look at. David Inchley's picture. No, there's too much chat. Too much chat, you guys. Jill's finishing off my dish for me. Hello, Nicholas. From the Gold Coast, Joel, is that where you are? Nicholas is there, and charcuterie. How fabulous. That's not Nicholas who used to sell our wine, is it? That would be weird. He's based on the Gold Coast. Hello, Daryl and Sue. How you going? Kay, Excited Restaurant, is saying, preparing your order. Excellent work. Hello, Peter. Craig, wow, you've already been censored so early in the night. I know, right? Oh, Anna's father, Nick. Hello, Nick. How are you? We had a Nicholas who sold our wine in the Gold Coast. I thought that would be too weird of a coincidence if you two were friends as well. The good chair. Well, I've got a few messages from people about their types of curry, their curry base they've been using. Sonia's got her golden curry paste. Everyone's waiting. Oh, Craig sent me a photo of all the team. John looks like he's done a beautiful job. Jill, as I said, Jill is finishing my curry. I got the curry sauce done, the chicken half done, and the rice not done at all. So Jill's cooking some rice, finishing cooking the chicken, kicked me out of the kitchen for being bossy, which is totally fair, because I was a bit stressed. Anyway, I can always apologise later, I guess. Hello, Alison. How are you going? David, Craig gets... yeah, David, I'm not quite sure how you've managed not to get censored so far, but it seems like YouTube has got it out for Craig. Jeff and Sue, hello. Kay's just poured a glass getting peach. I'll get there in a minute, Kay. Hello, Lions. How you going? You made it home safe. It's just turned into a really filthy weather night tonight here. So good time to be home and staying home and having Japanese curry and Pinot Gris. Shell and Andrew are having cauliflower katsu. Oh, nice. The recipe book says the combo of farty sweet cauliflower and the mellow spice of Japanese curry is a perfect match. Well, let's see if it's also a perfect match to Pinot Gris 2023. This wine is a new release for us, and I have not had it in the fridge. It's been in the cold glass room, which is unheated, so it's a perfect temperature. I'm serving it to myself in a Pinot Noir glass, which is, I think, a lovely way to drink this richer, riper style of Pinot Gris. Even though it's dry, it's got a fuller-bodied character, and I think that in a glass like this, particularly with a dish like the chicken katsu curry, it's better in a glass like this because you get the aromas of the wines more readily. Okay, let me see if I can speak correctly tonight. Peter is saying, oh, Joel and family might bump into Jeremy. This is correct. You might, Joel. Jeremy and his family are up there, so he will not be on Drinks with Kate tonight. I'm sure he'll probably be having a cocktail by the pool. Hello, Nina. Linda's favourite, indeed. Hello, Linda. Craig, you've had a very dry rosé to start off with, did you, tonight? This wine's quite different. Yeah, it's the opposite. It's almost the opposite of a dry rosé, although it is also dry. But it's got less acid, it's got more richness, it's got more unctuousness to it, which hopefully will go well with the spice and the slight sweetness in the Japanese curry sauce. Fiona is saying Shell just made the chicken run around the forest for an hour, then call it wild and have your chicken curry. Have the chicken run in the forest for an hour. Exactly. Good idea. Cody and John's wines from the hallway. Excellent. Started with an extra rich champagne. Oh, nice. Hello, Sonia. You've been cooking up a storm tonight. You've messaged me already about that. That's awesome. Welcome, welcome. I hope that it's all ready to go. I'm waiting for my food to arrive, but that's good because I think the only problem with doing something like a curry is that there's so much aromatics in the kitchen and up the nose of the person who's been cooking it, it kind of gets in the way a little bit of the appreciation of the wine. So nice to taste the wine without the curry first, and then luckily for me, because Peter's gone home to cook it for Nina, which is perfect, good. But it also means I don't have Peter, my lovely assistant, in the kitchen. So I'm very lucky that Jill has stepped in as my lovely assistant in the kitchen and is doing a great job. Oh, gosh. First of all, I've got to say, I love the colour of this wine. It's pale, but it's golden. It's got this gorgeous, it's just a tiny little pink hue that you get in a Pinot Gris when it's ripe. It's just taken on a tiny bit of colour from the skins. The curry resets the palate nicely. Excellent, excellent, Craig. Fiona's saying it's fresh on the nose, and it really is. Compared to the previous vintage, the 22, this 23 is really got a lifted, crisp, green pear aromatic on the nose. A little bit of... you started with tasting your homemade limoncello, Emily. How delightful. So... I get no limoncello on the nose with this, but I do get some lime and lemon rind from it. It does have nice viscosity, David, as a young wine. Nina's being cooked chicken katsu curry by Peter. That's very nice. The other thing about this wine is because it's so young, it's just tickling the back of my nose a little bit. But that could also be the curry spice. So green pear for me, crunchy green pear, lemon and lime rind. There's a bit of honey in the background. There's a little bit of spice in the background. And there's a richness that is quite hard to describe. Fiona is saying the wine with pickled ginger is awesome. I think that's a nice call. I didn't quite get myself organised with pickled ginger tonight, but I'm going to take a bit of my curry sauce home with some leftover Pinot Gris and see how that goes with some pickled ginger later on. Definitely some honey, Shell, I agree. It's coming up more and it's more on the palate. You get this lovely honeyed, sort of creamed honey note on the palate. 2023 was a warm, wet summer. Slightly riper fruit, Rob, yeah, and a slightly larger crop than in 2022, which was particularly cool and lacking in sunshine, and also very bad weather during flowering and fruit set in 2022. Slightly better weather in flowering and fruit set for 2023. Not perfect, but better than 22. Craig, food match is working well. Excellent. Glad to hear. Are you guys on the full chicken katsu curry, or have you gone a Joan variation? You may have already told me that, but I feel like I'm still catching up to the chat. As this wine is opening up in the glass and just warming up in this slightly warmer room that it was being stored in, I'm getting more of a sort of a lime cordial kind of a note coming up, and a little bit of just a tiny bit of fresh lychee as well, which I think is a really lovely character to see in Pinot Gris. It suggests a very ripe Pinot Gris because people more often talk about lychee when they're talking about Gewürztraminer, but I think Pinot Gris has the facility when it's ripe and it's high quality to have some of that spice and some of that tropical fruit character that you get in a Gewürz without being quite so big and rose petally. We're having the Joan variation chicken curry in pastry cups. Yum, fantastic. And the full katsu afterwards. That sounds awesome. Hope you've got another bottle of wine to go with it. Although you have had your champagne first, so that's okay. Yeah, what is that? Come on, people, help me with the tropical fruit note, because it's a little bit of lychee, but there's a bit of other stuff. And having just been in Bali and eating snake fruit and mangosteen, there's a little bit of that reminiscence there of that sort of crunchy. David, your bottle's looking nearly done. Thought you'd open the other drinks with Kate case, but a whole case of 23 Gris. Oh, good, excellent. You should be all right. I think maybe a bit of mangosteen, Rob. Or are you saying what is mangosteen, or are we getting a mangosteen fruit character? There's definitely lemongrass. I do think there's some star fruit in there too, Shell. It's got that slightly greener, juicier kind of character than that really ripe lychees. And certainly if you're going to go with lychees, it's got to be fresh lychees rather than lychees in syrup from a can, which is way too rich for the aromas and flavours on this wine. Yes, I reckon snake fruit and mangosteen. And I only discovered snake fruit recently, and I think it's awesome. Bit of green papaya for Kay. Kay, how's your leg? I hope you're feeling better. I've seen David's war wounds because he's been in to Celador this week, and he's looking. You'll all be pleased to know that he's looking better now that his stitches are out. Well done, David. Well done, Fiona. Lone says this wine always surprises people who tell me they don't like Pinot Gris. I get a bit of custard apple in there as well, definitely. Kay, that bruising's been around for a while. Wow. I'm happy to talk about mangosteen as well, but Rob, please feel free to type your version of the answer. But for me, a mangosteen is a little bit like a lychee in its flavour profile, but it's a little bit crunchier and it's a little bit more delicately perfumed. So it's a little red. It's a little red fruit with really thick skin that you peel the skin off, and then it's in little segments like an orange, but the segments are actually white and quite juicy, but a little bit crunchy, and they have this beautiful rosewater perfume. Really lovely. And snake fruit, which, as I say, I just discovered recently, which has got skin like a snake. It's obviously in the same family of flavour profiles, but it's more crunchy, and it's a little bit fresher than a mangosteen or a lychee, and it has a more pear-fruited edge to its perfumed flavour, if that makes sense. So it's a bit crunchier, it's a bit more pear-fruited, but it's still got that sort of rose-petal-y, perfumey, lychee kind of aromatic. Loans, I agree, as this wine opens up, it's got some white stone fruit. It's definitely got some floral notes, sort of almost... What are those flowers that I'm smelling? Not doing very well today. Crab spelling. Mangosteen, however it's spelt. I always thought it was spelt with just a double E, but I'll go with Rob's spelling as well. But yeah, if you get a chance to taste mangosteens, they're awesome. They're better than lychees. I really love them. Apparently you shouldn't eat too many of them. That's how I would have spelt it, Rob. Apparently they can give you a bit of a runny tummy if you eat too many of them, and because they're so delicious, it's quite easy to eat too many of them if you're being greedy. So just keep that in mind next time you're in a tropical country and find mangosteens. Just have 2 or 3 rather than 10 or 20 at a time. What this, Craig is saying, what this doesn't go with is mild Dutch cheese. Need more curry to reset. Excellent. Richard, are you going to have some, are you guys going to come in and have some wine, or they're all very busy? There's some wine here if you'd like some. We're all a bit behind this afternoon because we've been out for lunch with some friends up in Melbourne, as I started telling some of you at the beginning of the session. And anyone who is going out for lunch in Melbourne should consider going back to, or if you've not been there, going to Cicciolina in St Kilda. It was fabulous. We had a really lovely time. We caught up with some friends that we haven't seen for a long time. Most people had pasta. I had a lovely steak tartare with local truffles and egg that had something done to an egg yolk that had something done. It was delicious though. Very, very yummy. Not twisties. No, I don't think this is a twisty. Eat 10 on the... David, behave. See, Craig, I don't understand why you get censored and David doesn't. It's not fair. 20 to 22 on the chat. Absolutely, Shell. We're getting our groups up. We had 30 last week, though. So I was pretty impressed with that, actually, because we'd been 21 now. Anyway, so you're trying to get censored. Of course you are, David. So I'm getting more mangosteen character in this wine now on the nose. I'm still getting that lovely crunchy green pear fruit, but also the spice, which is why I thought the curry was going to be quite a nice match to the wine, because it's a little bit spicy and it's also on the palate. Always pays to just taste it again before you make a statement about on the palate. On the palate, it's got that really nice kind of mid-acidic crunchiness to it. It's not high acid like you'd expect from a green apple. It's got a really nice tang to it, but it's a soft tang, and it is like biting into a nashi pear or a green pear, which is awesome. Google prefers Firefox, maybe. Sonia, what's that restaurant? Cicciolina. So it's Ciccolina. It's Italian for little girl. Cicciolina. It's in Ackland Street in St Kilda, and it's been there since the 90s at least. And it's run by a group of really awesome women, and they cook ace food, and they have a good wine list, and you can buy Moorooduc Estate there. So it ticks all the boxes. Okay, back to the food matches. Joel's having a bit of pecorino and manchego. Yes, I can imagine that would be a good cheese match to this wine. Rudy Manchego, thank you, Peter. Yes, Fiona, a roundness on the palate. Thank you for bringing me back to the wine. It has a roundness on the palate as well as that nice soft but crunchy acidity. And the roundness comes from the extra alcohol. It's a bit higher in alcohol than a lot of our Chardonnays. Jill, feel free to leave the door open. I didn't mean to close it. Jill's struggling in with the chicken katsu curry that she's beautifully put together. Look at this. It looks like it's come from a Japanese restaurant. Wow. Thanks, Mum. Smile for the camera if you're going to put your face there. Thank you. That's amazing. Look, she's even given me some pickled ginger and some pickled pickles. Mm-hmm. I'm a bit worried about
Did you hold that up? Did they see it?
I did. I'm trying to without spilling it on my computer.
Look at that. It's just got white rice.
Hang on.
Now, let's
crumbs.
get the right angle.
Okay, there we go.
That's getting better. That's what I want.
It's all going to go on the computer. Nice. Could you get me a little thing to put underneath it so it doesn't burn the table?
It won't burn the table.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, yes.
Okay, well, it is your table, so
it is my table.
You won't be able to yell at me if it does burn the table. Kay's dinner has arrived as well. So I've got crunchy chicken on the katsu curry sauce and some lovely rice. Everyone's very jealous of not having a mum like you, Jill, to serve up beautiful food. Thank you. Just a bit grumpy with me because I was being bossy before. Populate itself. David. Shell is saying the wine brings out so much sweetness from the cauliflower and the slight spice. Absolutely amazing. Pete, I hope yours looks as good as that. Cotty and John are having a few different pickles with this, and the only one on the wine fights with is the Sichuan pepper Wombok, which I imagine would be quite hard work for any wine. All right, here we go. I better do a little taste test with the food to see whether I've done the right thing with the food and wine match. A little bit of chicken, a little bit of the curry sauce. Now, this is the Gewürzhaus recipe that I made because I bought the Gewürzhaus spices. So I didn't use the curry roux. I made my own curry roux with some dried spices. Here we go. Yum. The curry is always the katsu sauce is always a very mild curry, Craig. It doesn't have a lot of heat, but it has that curry flavour to it, and it has a kind of creamy softness to it that I always associate with Japanese curry. I really like it, but often people kind of are a bit surprised because they're used to Indian curry with lots more chili and stuff. So yeah, it should be quite mild. It should have a creaminess and a slight sweetness to it. And it's all about cooking the potatoes and the carrots and things in it, as well as the chicken. So I think bit of potato. Just enough little bit of spice on the back palate to give you a little tingle, but not the sort of slamming spices that we're used to from Thai curries or Indian curries. It's much gentler because that's the Japanese have very sensitive palates and they like delicate flavours, and I think this is a very good example of that. They want to be able to taste the rice, they want to be able to taste the sauce, they want to be able to taste the vegetables, and they want to be able to taste the chicken and everything all together. And I think this wine would appeal to the Japanese sensibilities because it has enough richness without being over the top. Yeah, rather yum. Although the Japanese might be slightly put off by the alcohol level, which I think is 14.5. You guys have got the bottle in front of you. Mine's over there on the other table. So 14.5? It says 14 point something, Richard says, and you guys will be able to read that. And the dolphin, yes, dolphin's very mildly flavoured, David. Stop trying to get censored. Behave yourself. What have I missed? Okay, shells, I've said that, I read that. Yes, doesn't fight with the Sichuan pepper doesn't fight with Ministry GG. Yes, that is quite a different style of wine. 14.5, thank you, guys. It's all right, Dad, they've all read it for me. He's gone off to try and read the thing in better light. I'm just going to have a little bit more of this chicken because it's delicious. I know, everyone's typed it while you were gone. Yum. Hello, Willow, have you calmed down now? All right, so the chicken has a kind of sweetness to it, especially when it's got crunchy, salty crust on it, I reckon. And that goes really nicely with the curry sauce as well. It brings up for me more spice in the wine, a bit more sweet mangosteen pear fruit, and the honey comes up as well. So I think that's pretty awesome. All right, so 2023 Pinot Gris. It's quite. We've caught up a little bit. So yes, what was I trying to say? We've caught up a little bit with our Pinot Gris releases, and we've released this earlier than some of our other Pinot Gris because we sold through the 22 in about 3 or 4 months, which means that now we have got the word out there to enough of you and other people out there in the world that Pinot Gris can be exciting and good and be worth spending $45 a bottle on. And it means that we're going to have to start making a bit more Pinot Gris, which is good. And in fact, 2025 we have. So hopefully people continue appreciating and loving high quality Pinot Gris, particularly with food like this. So I'm really glad that you guys like the match. with the food, with the wine, because I think a lot of the Moorooduc wines are great with Japanese flavours, and I think that we talk about sushi and sashimi, and I think we should definitely do some sushi and sashimi at some stage, maybe next week with the Garage East Merrick's Chardonnay. But we forget about these kind of hearty, hot pot kind of Japanese dishes that are real kind of family pleasers and work really well with these kind of textural wines that have. And Pinot Gris, so I know I've said this to you guys before, but I think this wine is a really good example of the sort of the attitude that Pinot Gris is really the red wine drinker's white wine when it's made like this. It has a weight and a depth and a texture to it and it behaves a little bit more like red wine than our whites, and it works really, really well with a lot of richer foods, particularly white proteins. So you can match this to chicken, you can match this to shell. I'm surprised, and possibly I should have sent you a message, because I reckon this would go really well with a katsu curry sauce with some tofu in it, which I'm not sure if that's a thing in Japan, but I nearly did that myself, but I thought, no, I'll stick with the chicken katsu for now and play around with the tofu in my own time. But I think this wine, if you've got tofu with some flavouring to it, like the curry sauce, it could work really, really well, would work really well with this sort of wine, because the wine brings enough texture and spice in to kind of give it a bit of oomph. Works very well with pork. If you eat veal, it works well with that. It also works well with kind of rich, meaty fish dishes. So it's a very versatile grape variety wine style. Fiona, absolutely. Fiona's saying that she recalls that Adam Lior said that using a Japanese curry roux block is totally acceptable. It's done. It's the done thing in Japan. Absolutely. I would have, I think I would have gone the curry roux if I'd known that I could get it easily locally, and if I hadn't ordered some other spices from Gewurz House and seen that they had Japanese curry spice mix, and I just wanted to have a play with that. So it's probably less authentic in a way to go for the beginning spices. Jeff and Sue have got pork loin cooking at the moment. Excellent. David served it to your uncle that doesn't drink white wine and he liked it. Good. Shell, I think cauliflower would be outstanding, both with the curry sauce and with this wine, because cauliflower, when you cook it down, develops this lovely kind of meaty sweetness to it, which I think is really awesome. So I'm a big fan of cauliflower as a stand-in for meaty things in curries and stuff like that. Yes, Peter was scoffing at me for using spices. He was like, oh, no, you need to use the roux block because that's how they do it in Japan. And no doubt it is, and no doubt that's not for arty sweetness. Yes, thanks, Shell. That's a good descriptor, actually. It's pretty yummy, though. Isn't it nice? This is one of those dishes that I find it hard not to keep eating while I'm talking to you. The potato with the sauce, I think, is particularly yummy. I'm having a bit of a potato obsession at the moment. But the chicken's also delicious. Peter and Karen, can't go past double carbs, rice and potatoes. Absolutely, Fiona. It's a really good way to go. Richard's taken the bottle of wine away from me and gone away, so I'm just having to try and make this wine kind of, go for the whole conversation, because I can't get any more wine. It's pretty dreadful service around here today, isn't it? Party sweetness. No, okay, mini farts are sweet. Could handle a pork roast, absolutely, Loans, with a little bit of roast apple. Joel's about to cook chicken with mango, chili and lime. That could go well, absolutely. can we come close to the real deal from Japan in Australia, Shell? Craig wants to know. And as our resident Japanese expert, going there more often than the rest of us, we'd love to know, Shell, where the best Aussie-Japanese options are. Richard! No, he's gone. They've all gone. He's taken my wine away. I need some more wine while I'm talking to these people. Can I please have the wine back? Thank you. Thanks. Oh, goodness. It's starting to be a dry argument. Thank you very much. I don't need any more. You can have some more yourself if you like. Hello, Willow. I've got a little dog's head on my knee. Polly's back behind me, fast asleep. She's had a hard day, haven't you, Paul? Waiting for us to come back from St Kilda. The lime is still lingering on the nose, absolutely, Fiona. I reckon it's almost, when Joel said mango, chili and lime, it's got almost that sort of chili lime pickle kind of aromatic to it, which I think is perhaps partly the smell of the curry coming at me as well. But it does seem to do that nice thing working with the curry flavours and the wine having that sort of semi-tropical crunchy pear kind of, and the ginger as well is starting to come out as well. And I agree, Fee, that the pickled ginger's very nice with the wine too. Lots of press lately about the Moorooduc Estate. I think it's getting busy accordingly. Craig, it's funny you should ask that because we have had some nice press recently, that lovely Chardonnay article. So the UK is doing, well done, David. The UK, we've had some really nice reviews recently in the UK, partly because of all the work that we did last year over there with Spritz Marketing, who helped us with some PR stuff for a year. And we're still getting sort of the follow-on effect of that. Also because I've been working quite hard with various people over there as well. I have to say Astrid from Spritz is a legend, as are all the girls, but Astrid always sends me an email and says, hey, Kate, so-and-so wants to taste your wine, or can I send so-and-so a bottle of wine? And she gets it out to the right journos and then they write some really nice stuff. So Duck Chardonnay was in Amelia Duke's Australian Chardonnay Masterclass last month. And she had Chardonnays from all over Australia. The deal was you had to pay to be in it. So you know, this is sort of the dice we roll. It's like pay to play. But if it has good results and if it gets some nice write-ups, then that's totally worth it because it means that you're getting the wine in front of the right people. We had to show 2 vintages. So we had some 2018 Duck Chardonnay and some 2022 Duck Chardonnay that went into the tasting, and as a result we got some nice comments on social media, but we also were part of a really lovely article that's been in a few different, it was in the Independent, it was somewhere else in the UK press, and it's just popped up in Decanter Premium if you subscribe to that, about how Chardonnay's changed and sort of the change from the ABC attitude about Chardonnay and why people should start taking Australian Chardonnay seriously and thinking about Australian Chardonnay. And one of the 5 or 6 Chardonnays that got individually reviewed was actually our Estate 23 Estate Chardonnay, which I believe had been sent to this wine writer either prior to or post the Chardonnay tasting. Anyway, she tasted the Chardonnays at the Chardonnay tasting and tasted our Estate Chardonnay. And because theoretically there's more of the Estate Chardonnay around and it's a better price point, she decided to pop that one in. And I think she also really enjoyed it. So that was great. Estate Pinot Noir had a great rave in an Instagram from Cambridge Cellars. A little talky tasting note from one of the dudes at Cambridge Cellars. They've just had a Moorooduc Estate tasting there for their customers, which is really lovely. They've been good supporters for a long time. I'm also going over to the UK in September for a couple of weeks and doing a bit of work with our good friends at Cavist, doing a couple of dinners with them and doing a trade tasting for our distributors, and hopefully doing a couple of other tastings around the country. I'm still working that all out, but I think that would be a nice opportunity to kind of follow up some of these nice reviews in the UK and just kind of remind people that we're still doing great things. In response to your question, Craig, are things getting busy accordingly? We've had some more orders come through, and I think that we're doing significantly better than a lot of wine businesses at the moment, but it's pretty tough out there at the moment. There's less people going out to restaurants, people spending less at restaurants, but I think that where we're sort of kicking goals is with you guys, because I think a lot of people are enjoying having a special bottle of wine at home, and if they can do that in the privacy of their own home but get a little bit of commentary if they want to, then that's where Drinks with Kate becomes helpful, useful, but also I think there's a lot more, if people are buying nice wine, they're buying it, taking it home and enjoying it. Did I read about Caradoc closing? Is that the vineyard? Okay. I did read something about something. Shell, there are still spots left for the August lunch. It is, I don't think I've sent the email out about it yet because it's not till the 30th of August. Sunday, the entire winery closed in Mildura. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. De Bordeley's pulled out some of their Shiraz plantings in New South Wales somewhere. My brain's just gone blank. I know exactly where it is, but it's gone. 6 spots left, line says Shell. So it's on the 30th of August. Is that right, Jill? Yep, 30th of August. It's a collaboration lunch with Torello, who grow beautiful vegetables down here on the Mornington Peninsula, and also grow their own meat and keep it all very local. So that will be pretty awesome. Just give us a call tomorrow. Give Loans or Liz or Linda a call tomorrow, and we'll whack you in. Richard's making his famous ravioli for the lunch. It'll be great, and his famous bread, and his famous wine will also be on at the lunch, but we haven't decided what wine, but they'll be delicious. It'll be awesome. It'll be very good. The 31st, Leonie's saying. I've wondered whether it's a Sunday anyway. It's the last Sunday of August, whatever date that is. I will send an email out very soon, but Shell, give us a call tomorrow. Bread ravioli, no David. Bread and ravioli separate. Behave. Craig, we haven't seen Reg since last Thursday morning, and we are pretty sure that he has gone off somewhere quietly to die. So no more Reg. We're very sad. But he was possibly 30 years old. He was definitely into his mid to late 20s at the very youngest. And he was going blind, and he was really wobbly, and Richard had built him his beautiful ramp that was helping him get up onto the wall. But yeah, he was really struggling. So yeah, he's gone. And it won't be the same around here without him. So here's cheers to Reggie. And I'm really sorry if you hadn't heard that news already. But yes, it's getting a bit quiet around here with no Frodo and no Reggie. And anyway, Polly's still here. No Mr. Silly. So yeah, very sad, but we've got some beautiful pictures of Reg and some beautiful memories of him. And he was pretty awesome. And he just adopted us. We were trying to work out how long he's been here. It's definitely over 20 years. We think he got here in about 2023, 22, 23. Mum and Dad have got some theories. We're trying to find the oldest photos of him. But anyway, he was a bit of a legend. So, yeah, it is very sad, very sad. We need to bring out a Reg-inspired wine label. Craig, that's very funny you should say that, because we have joked for years and years about making a top-tier wine, potentially a Magnum only, called the Golden Peacock, which I think is so completely ridiculous that it could work really, really well. So watch this space. I don't think we'll have the Golden Peacock anytime soon, but yeah, he was pretty cool. 2002, 2003, Peter reckons he came here first. I know, Sonia, he was a pretty crazy bird. He used to, in earlier days when he was a bit more mobile and a bit more feisty, when we had concerts here for the Summer Music Festival, one year the musicians were really, really offended because he came around onto the balcony and sang along with the music. And peacock singing isn't the prettiest bird song in the world. And in fact, we got quite a terse message from the organisers the following year and said, look, we won't be able to come to Moorooduc unless you can guarantee that you'll lock that peacock away. And we said, well, there's absolutely no way we can lock the peacock away. He's a wild bird who chooses to live here. And people just have to deal with the fact that there's wild birds out in the vineyard. And in fact, they just then chose musicians who could handle a little bit of extra music as an addition. It was really rather wonderful. Craig, don't be rude. Alison, did we feed him? I think that was the trick to him staying, actually. You might be surprised to hear, but my mother and father, but I think it was Mum originally who started the regime, that meant that Reg would get a lovely combination of food for his breakfast and his dinner, and it would usually have a base of some bird seed, but not too much because that's a bit boring, some of Jill's homemade toasted muesli, some dried dog food or cat food, half a Scotch finger biscuit crumbled up, some cheese. There would usually be some mincemeat there as well. And when they were in season or when we could afford it, some blueberries, because they were his favourite thing. So he was the most spoilt bird in the world, and he was pretty smart. He knew it. And until Frodo came along, he also ruled all the dogs and the cats. So Frodo changed that, and he was a bit tormented by Frodo and then Polly in his later life, but he managed to keep away from them. Oh yes, and some of Richard's sourdough sometimes, David, but more often he really liked Scotch finger biscuits, and Polly's a bit disappointed that we won't be having Scotch finger biscuits in the cupboard for her anymore. But yes, he had a pretty awesome life, and he was very well cared for and very loved. And I'm going to stop talking about him now so that I don't make myself cry more. So this wine, hey? How's the katsu curry with the wine, Jill and Richard? Pretty good. Richard says it's pretty good. Jill's doing faces, which makes me think she's not that impressed with it. I don't know if you guys heard that. She said, not as a match. They're both individually fabulous, but she doesn't like the wine with the katsu. So there you go. The Scotch finger biscuits are made with margarine, David. Oh, well, I'll tell Polly it's bad for her health. I thought it worked pretty well with the katsu, but Jill's a pretty tough crowd. You're right, and she's a bit of a super taster, so that's all right. I can cope with the rejection. I'm not sure if Beck's having some as well, but we all arrived back here from lunch feeling quite full, and then went, right, let's have some chicken katsu curry then. Jill's a hard taskmaster, Craig says. Does she like this wine, Jill? Do you like this wine? Mm-hmm. She loves the wine. Very happy with the wine. Hello, Rob. Rob's been drinking this without any food and loved every mouthful. It's a very pleasing aperitif style of wine, isn't it? Polly, that's beautiful chicken. What have you done to the chicken, Jill? She came over for some chicken. I offered it to her and she's not interested. It's why there are many wines for many tastes, and we're very lucky having Moorooduc Estate. Thank you, Kay. I think the trick with this Pinot Gris, though, in all seriousness, is that it's a great aperitif style. It could be tainted by curry, Kay, you're right, a little bit of curry paste on there, and Polly was not interested. It's a great aperitif style wine. It doesn't need anything food-wise to make it delicious. It's also a really good food wine. So Sonia's just not a katsu fan. Okay, no worries. Unless you've got the wine that you love better than the katsu. Okay, cheers to that. You never have to have it again now, Sonia. That's the beautiful part of the whole katsu experiment. I try not to go back to a food and wine match again unless it's manchego or Gruyere with Chardonnay. How would I describe the aftertaste of this wine? It's got quite a rich, for me, it's got quite a rich, almost yellow pear fruit flavour on the aftertaste. It's also got a little bit of that tropical fruit character that we were struggling with before, that's not quite lychees or mangosteens, but is a bit more fragrant than star fruit, but isn't kind of rich and overblown like the gorgeousness of mangoes. It doesn't go into the mango. It's more kind of green. It's almost, this is going to sound really weird, but it's almost like cucumber water, which has got that kind of green tropical. It's not quite sweet, but it's got a kind of sweet, bitter kind of a flavour to it. When you put, some of you are probably sitting there going, what, she's gone off her tree now. But if you put cucumber in water and then you serve the water with that cucumber kind of infused into the water, I think it's got a bit of that character coming through. Oh, Polly's decided that the chicken's okay now. So much so that she's barking at me for it now. Behave yourself, young dog. Yeah, it's got white rose petals and it's got a little bit of cucumber. There you go. I've never put that in a tasting note. I probably never will. Kay, you only have cucumber with your Pims. Fair enough. Fiona put some cucumber on the side of her katsu curry, nice and fresh. I think that's a good descriptor. I've got pickled cucumber. And the wine definitely doesn't have a pickled flavour, but that flavour that comes out underneath the pickle. Yeah, I think it's quite good. I'm quite pleased with myself with that one. It's a new descriptor for me. It's also, when I'm talking about cucumber and pink rose petals, it's that English gin. One of you will be able to tell me. Alison's just had a mini cheese and zucchini muffin and it goes very well. Oh, excellent. That sounds nice. I think the cheesy, not Bombay Sapphire, Fiona. It's it's a newer English gin than that, and it's got cucumber and rose petals, not Tanqueray. Shh, dogs. And they sold it a few years ago with a teacup or a teapot. Hendrix, thank you. Well, no, is that right? Is it Hendrix? I think that's right. Yeah, anyway, that's got cucumber and rose petal in it, Hendrix. And I quite like that gin from time to time. But I think I like this Pinot Gris better because it's more complicated than that and less obvious. Yeah, bit of rose petal. There is a little bit of almost jasmine, but not quite. Little rosy, musky kind of a note, Nina. Absolutely. A lot of people talk about Pinot Gris as having. No, I'm okay. You guys go for it. People talk about Pinot. Oh, what is it? Oh, what have you done? Oh, he's. So, you guys are going to be so jealous. I've got grated daikon. It's actually very good.
Surprisingly good, isn't it?
It's actually surprisingly good. I'd like it even better with a bit of salt and a bit of sushi vinegar and a bit of, bit of zhuzhing.
Yes.
But you're supposed to serve Hendrix with cucumber. Absolutely, Pete. So Dad has made me a lovely bowl of grated daikon. Thank you, Richard. Straight from the vineyard. So anyone who hasn't caught up with this story, and daikon being Japanese radish, perfect combo. And the daikon is out of the cover crop. Thank you, Fiona. Fiona face picked a cover crop daikon, and Dad's been playing around with the daikon, and also the turnip. Mum and Dad have been playing around with the turnip tops, which are see you, Joel. Thank you for coming. We'll be finishing up soon because we've gone for 50 minutes. Whoops, sorry about that. Enjoy kids' dinner. Lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us. So as well as the daikon in the vineyard that Dad's been pulling up, and he's worked out that the young ones are better than the big gnarly ones, better flavour. That's a good thing to know. But also turnip tops, because turnips are the other root vegetable that we've got in our cover crop. And some of you will know that in Italy they call turnip tops cime di rape or rapini. And Mum's been having a bit of fun with cime di rape recently. Huge amount of nutrition in the top of turnips. Alice Zavleski does great things with daikon. Okay, we'll check that out, Fiona. Thank you. But Dad while Mum and I were in Bali a couple of weeks ago, Dad discovered all of the different joys of what you can do with daikon. Did you put it in an omelette, Richard? No. Just with carrots and a bit of dressing. Pickled turnips are the best, Alison. I've just made myself a jar of pickled turnips. They're fantastic with a glass of champagne or a fresh white wine before dinner. Sonia had pickled daikon delivered with her takeaway. Awesome. Rob, we have to make kimchi. I think that is absolutely an essential. So on that note, at 53 minutes and 13 seconds, I think I'm going to have to let you all go and kimchi, more fatty sweetness, exactly. My glass is almost empty anyway, and our bottle's empty over there, so it's all good. It's been lovely hanging out with you guys with some chicken katsu curry, glass of wine. Cheers to Reg. Cheers to you all. The daikon diet's the next big thing, Nina says. I reckon it's probably more energy in than less energy in than energy out with grated daikon if you don't put anything else on. What a great food day. Exactly. I've had a lovely day eating. I now have to go and digest a little bit. No, Peter and Karen. Richard would never put any, that was a joke. He would never put anything in his omelette apart from egg and salt and pepper and cook it in lots of butter. So it's all good. See you all next week. I'm hoping that Barney will be with us. I know somebody asked me that ages ago. I have invited him. He has said he's going to do everything that he can to be here. So hopefully he will be sitting here next to me to talk about his wine. That will be awesome. I think a bottle of Pinot Gris would absolutely level out the energy and energy outscale for daikon eating. And in fact, why not take all our calories in wine rather than food? All right, on that jolly note, good night, everyone, and I'll see you all next week. Take care. Cheers.